keep going. Day in, day out. We fight on. Why? Because we are champions. Be a champion. We don't give up. We don't quit. We keep going. Day in, day out. We fight on. Why? Because we are champions. Be a champion.
Hello, everyone. Let me start off by saying congratulations. If you're on this right now, that just means that you have just completed your first 10 days of the 24-day challenge. And it's amazing. I know we're feeling amazing here, and you should be feeling great too. Definitely give yourselves a pat on the back, because if you can do this for 10 days, you're going to do it for 14 more days and get amazing results from this challenge. Right now, how should you be feeling? Yeah, you should be feeling great. And why? Because your body is clean now of those toxins that we talked about. And you should be feeling less bloated, lots of energy. A lot of people often say that their skin looks great. That's just from freeing those toxins from your body. And remember, now that your body is clean, you are able to get the best results from these products. They're going in there, it's nice and clean, they're doing their job. So let's talk about what we have to look forward to. We want to remember that our metabolism right now is working very efficient, and it's, as long as you're feeding yourself, your metabolism is up way high. So we have to continue that for the next 14 days. So I want to remind people that who are on here, this is your first cleanse or 24-day challenge. It's really important to remember that the cleanse phase, this 10 days that you have just done, it's important to try to do this every 90 days. In a perfect world, everybody would cleanse every 90 days to keep your body free of those toxins, to get that energy level back up, and always have your metabolism working at its highest rate. So again, what we like to do is we always write it in our calendars when we started our cleanse, and we go 90 days out and we do our cleanse again. So again, for anybody who's new on here, remember the cleanse phase, the 10-day phase, can be done every 90 days. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's get started and get excited for what's about to come. Starting tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up excited because hopefully you haven't been weighing yourself for the last 10 days every day. I told everyone to avoid doing that because it is like torture, because with all the liquid you're taking in and fiber, the scale is not really what you want to be going on for 10 days in a row. But guess what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is that day. You're going to wake up first thing in the morning and you're going to weigh yourself. And hopefully you took your pre-cleanse, pre-24-day challenge measurements as well as weight. So whatever you did previous to starting, that's what you're going to repeat tomorrow. And if you're using this assessment form, and again, it shows you where you can locate it if you haven't already. Hopefully you have, so you have your numbers written down from the beginning. But they don't have one for a day 11, so you could see the empty box right next to day 24. Just make that your day 11. And you want to do exactly, like I said, exactly what you did the first, prior to starting, so you can see the change. Do not get frustrated if you do not see the scale moving so much, especially for the ladies on here. We want to remember that sometimes women often show more in inches than they do pounds. Also, if you're working out, and I know a lot of you are trying to work out even harder or even starting a workout program, you have to keep an account also building muscle. So again, don't use the scale as your only way to assess how you did on this challenge. How are you feeling right now? How is your energy? And also inches, that's important as well. So again, after you're done doing this fitness assessment, remember that keep it in a safe place, because we're going to pull that back out on day 24, actually day 25, to see what your final results were for your 24-day challenge. We are also going to continue using that 24-day challenge daily guide. Everybody got it in their boxes. Hopefully you've been using it throughout the last 10 days because there's so many amazing things in there that we went over already as far as food suggestions, helps you just gives you an idea of some companion products that I'll talk about. It's just a great little guide to go to, checklist. So if you have that, keep it handy for these next 14 days as well. Now let's talk about the products that we're going to be using. Sorry. Let's talk about the products we're going to be using starting tomorrow. We have our M&S, which is our metabolic nutrition system. In this picture, it shows M&S 3. You might have that one. You might have two. There might be, there's two other choices that you might have chosen. It's M&S E or M&S C. So whatever M&S you've chosen to use for your next 14 days, you're going to use that one starting tomorrow. You're going to use your box of meal replacement shakes. I know a lot of you opted to get 2 boxes, so you've been using them for the cleanse phase, and now you're going to continue using them for your max phase. For those of you who haven't had the opportunity to enjoy these meal replacement shakes yet, get ready because they're awesome. And for anybody who doesn't know about these meal replacement shakes, it's basically a perfect formulated breakfast right in that little pouch. All you're doing is mixing it up and drinking it, and you're giving yourself 24 grams of amazing protein, the right amount of carbs and fiber you need to jumpstart your metabolism within that first hour of waking up, because that is our most important meal of the day. And you're also going to be using your Spark, of course. By this time, if you're new to Advocare, you are now realizing the importance of Spark and why we're all it's our favorite thing in the world, because now I'm sure you can't live without it. But yes, you have another box of Spark to use. And then you are also going to continue working with your Omegaplex. And then you have your companion products. Now, these companion products were optional. In this slide, I'm going to go back 1 second. In this slide, it shows that extra box of meal replacement shakes. But then here are some other options. If you did not choose any of these add-ons, do not hesitate to go ahead and order. We know Advocare gets their products out fast, so you would have this in a couple days, and it will help you throughout the challenge. And what's great about it is, even if you don't have it for the next couple days until it comes in, if you chose or did not know about it or chose not to do it at that point, and now you want to add them on, these are products that can be used after the challenge, the life after the challenge, which we will learn about as well. But they're great products. So let me go through them a little bit, just in case you want to know a little bit more about them. We have Catalyst. Catalyst by far is one of I would say my #1 favorite product out of 70 plus products. It's what it is branched chain amino acids, and this is going to build your lean muscle, which burns fat. It's also going to help for those people who are really looking to lose weight. It's going to help with the elasticity. It'll keep it tightened and toning. It's just an amazing product. It can be used when your meals lack protein, which I know a lot of you have reached out to myself and whoever got you involved saying that you're struggling a little bit with keeping that protein level high for your meals and snacks. This is a great option. In case you're a little under the level of protein that you need, you can always pop 3 Catalyst and you've met your protein requirement. And then you also have Crave Check. Crave Check is one of our newer products. It's amazing. It's the cheapest product in the trim line, which is a bonus right there. But this product is really, really amazing to us because it can be used during the cleanse phase. So many of you have been enjoying it for the last 10 days, and you can continue it for the next 14 days and after. And this can be taken twice a day. It's 12 hours of craving control, and it's sustained release. So it releases that craving control that you need depending on when your body needs it. And it's taken 30 minutes before breakfast, and then you can repeat it in the afternoon after lunch. Amazing, amazing. What we've been hearing from the Crave Check is it really is going to help those people, especially the ones who have those afternoon cravings. Another add-on, this ThermoPlus, this you could not use during the cleanse phase, so it's a perfect time right now to add it on. It can be started on day 11 and after as well. And this is a fat burner. And this is one of Rob's favorite products. It works perfect with M&S. So do not worry if you can add it in. It actually works, like I said, perfectly because it's taken at the same time as M&S is the 30 minutes before your meal. And then you have Carbies. This is a great product, but keep this in mind. You don't want to have to rely on this product very much for the next 14 days because we're limiting our carbs. This is for those nights that, hey, let's say you have a special occasion, you're going out to a restaurant. Carbies is what you do want to have on hand. And what it does is it blocks the absorption of carbohydrates into the bloodstream. So it gives you that little cheat without feeling so guilty. And again, it's a great thing to have. All of us know that we're going to end up in a situation in the next 14 days probably where you end up going out to a restaurant, and we know they're not cooking as healthy as we do at home. So this would be a great time to use the Carbies if you feel that you're going to be taking in more carbs than usual. And as far as after the challenge, Rob and I always have this on hand for those cheat meals, our New York trips especially. So those are some of the add-on products. Again, some of you may have had these. If you need help trying to fit them into your next 14 days, just get with whoever got you involved and we can help you fit it into your schedule. Now let's go back to food suggestions. Again, we are on the next 14 days. You probably rocked the last 10 days. Don't stop. Eating is just as important right now for the next part of this challenge as it was for the cleanse phase that you're just getting over. Remember, we want to look for real food, not processed food. We want to make sure that we're getting enough proteins. We want to get plenty of our greens. And don't forget to continue with that limit or avoid list. We want to try to stick to it as much as we can because we know that we want the best results out of these 24 days. And then also, this is really important to remember. When you're choosing these food suggestions and you're making your meals, be creative. I said this in the beginning from previous to starting the cleanse, but I want everybody to remember that we have these pages to help each other so we don't get bored of the same foods. So remember to reach out. If you have a great recipe, please post it because all of us have been enjoying everybody's posts about that. And actually, we've been making everybody's suggestions, and we have that amazing Advocare cookbook that they sent out. And if you didn't have that, please let me know and I can give you that link for that as well. But be creative with your food choices because you want to be able to make this a lifestyle change. So after this 24-day challenge is over, you want to enjoy what you've been doing and want to continue it. You don't want to eat the same thing every night or the same thing for all the meals. So then by the time this is over, you're so sick of those foods, you don't want to eat them anymore. So definitely look at this more as a lifestyle change and not so much as a 24-day challenge. And again, we have our virtual coaching as well that Advocare provides for us. Again, this is our upline leader, Liz Simmons. She's one of our great friends. And this is a man named Wes Bewley who's amazing as well. But this is great because you have a coach right in front of you. You can log right onto this. And what's amazing about it is obviously they're speaking to you, but you can click on the day that you're on. And this is what it shows when you log on to there. And if tomorrow we clicked on day 11, this is what we would see. It shows us what our AM should look like, gives us some suggestions, and it also gives us that little fit tip at the bottom, which is always, sometimes it's really interesting to read them because you don't think about these little things. And then we also have the follow-up calendar and reminders. This is something I created. If you do not have these, they can be located on your team Facebook page if you're part of a team. And also, this is, again, many people that are on this are helping others and sharing Advocare with others. So this is a way you can follow along with the people that you now have on this challenge. So we use this tool. Okay, now we're going to get ready. Tomorrow starts this brand new phase that we call the max phase. And like I said, we're going to be using that box of M&S. And what we need to do is, first, let's talk about M&S. M&S stands for Metabolic Nutrition System. We've just cleaned out our bodies. They're free of toxins. Now we've reset the metabolism. Now we want to jumpstart it by putting the right nutrition And by putting basically M&S, what it is a bucket of core nutrition. So we have our multivitamin, we have our probiotics in there, we have our Omegaplex, as well as our thermogenics that will help us continue to lose our weight or trim, tighten, and tone, depending on what your goals are with M&S. But it doesn't matter. M&S is used for everyone. I'm not looking to lose any weight, and M&S is something I would never go off of. Because of what it can do for you. It's an amazing product. So in a perfect world, I like to say people will stay on M&S because of what it does provide for your body that food alone cannot fill. So remember that I'm a visual person, so I always like to use this example. I used it, I believe, previously, but look at your body like a piece of Swiss cheese. No matter how healthy you're eating right now and how many greens and protein you're putting in, your body can only absorb so much nutrition and vitamins from food alone. And that's where supplementation comes in. And we want to remember that this M&S is filling in those gaps that I'm talking about. And what M&S does provide is it helps in your overall health. It also helps with your cardiovascular health. It helps keeping your metabolism high, appetite control. And this is why people choose to stay on M&S after the challenge is over, because everybody needs that every day. And you're getting rid of your multivitamins, your probiotics, and your omega bottles because now you have it all right in this one box of metabolic nutrition system. So let's go over what a day looks like on M&S. This checklist is what is going to be found in your daily guide. So when you're in your daily guide, you can see each day what you should be doing. I'm going to go over it. If I say something that's not on the list on your checklist, you can add it, pencil it in. It's just some stuff we've learned along the way from listening to the doctors and suggestions from different distributors around. So this is how it would look. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to take my Spark with my 3 Catalyst. And I'm also going to take my 30-minute before breakfast M&S pack. And when you take out your M&S strip packs, you'll see they're labeled for you. There's no guessing. So you want to make sure that right when you wake up, you're taking your Spark, 3 Catalyst, 30-minute before breakfast pack. And then 30 minutes later, you're going to have your breakfast, protein-filled breakfast or shake, because we know that is the perfect breakfast. And you want to take that with both of your M&S with packets. This is an optional thing. This is one of the tips we've learned, and it made a world of a difference for us and many people because it takes away worrying about when to take what packets and getting rid of them by breakfast except one packet. So what you want to do is after your 30 minutes have passed and you've taken your 30 minutes before breakfast pack, when you go to have your breakfast 30 minutes later, you can take both with packs because all it is your vitamins. So you can get rid of both of those packs in that one sitting and only be left with your 30-minute before breakfast pack. So approximately 2 hours or so later after having your breakfast, you're going to want to have your AM snack. And again, protein filled. Remember, every meal and every snack has to have protein in it in order to burn fat. And then now we're getting closer to lunch. 30 minutes before lunch, you're going to take your 30-minute before lunch M&S pack. A suggestion we've learned and that we do is stick that 30-minute before lunch packet in your pocket because you'll constantly hear it crunching in your pocket, and it actually helps you to remember to take that packet before lunch. Another suggestion is set your timer on your phone. I mean, we all use our phones constantly. I have timers going off all the time for different things. Set it so you remember to take that 30-minute before pack before lunch because it's very important. There is a reason why you take them at the times you should. So if you're taking it the reason you're taking it 30 minutes before your meals for those 2 meals, it has thermogenics in there, and you want those thermogenics to get inside your body before you're eating. So you want to make sure you are taking them 30 minutes before. I'll talk about a little bit of an adjustment in a little bit, but just keep that in mind. So now you've taken your 30-minute before lunch pack, and now 30 minutes later, what are you doing? We're eating our lunch, protein filled. It's so important, just as important it was to continue eating on the cleanse phase, you have to do this with M&S. M&S, like I said, is an amazing product, but you have to use it correctly to benefit from it. If you're not eating enough, you're putting a lot of vitamins into your body that are great for your body. But if you're not putting food in with it and enough food, you can feel nauseous from vitamins. So you want to make sure you're giving your body the nutrition it needs, and M&S will do its job. Now, 30 minutes, you've had your lunch. Now, don't forget, you want to make sure that you are having your afternoon snack afterwards. And then after your afternoon snack, you're going into your dinner. And at dinner, you're going to make sure that you're taking your Omegaplex. This is optional again. If you want to add your Omegaplex, I always suggest to people that in your M&S there is Omegas already, so you can use just that. But you should have plenty of Omegaplex left from your cleanse phase because it came with that bottle. I always add an extra 2 at dinner time. So that is totally up to you if you choose to do that or not. I do that. I actually happen to add it at lunch as well. I personally take 6 Omegaplex a day. So again, you can either take the one that comes in your M&S in the morning only. You can also add 2 at lunch, 2 at dinner, or just, it's totally up to you. And then also remember, now we're getting to bedtime. Optional, highly suggested though, you want to make sure you take your 3 Catalyst at bedtime. And the reason we do that is we want to remember that our body needs protein to burn. And when you're going to bed for 8 hours, your body isn't getting very much protein. You can pop 3 Catalyst and your body will continue burning and building that lean muscle that we need. So again, that's an optional product, Catalyst at bedtime. Again, you can follow the checklist. It says everything there. I did add a few things, so that's up to you if you would like to add them on yourself. But right now what we're going to go into is what I always say is really, really one of my most important parts of this is the troubleshooting and the tips. These are things that you either want to lock in your mind for the next 14 days so you don't get frustrated, or you just want to make sure that you have these tips, or jot them down as a reminder that this is completely normal. And if you are having an obstacle, we're going to be able to get through it. So let's go over some of our troubleshooting and tips. Let me just make sure I'm covering it all for you. Okay. First thing, the 30-minute before packs. This might need some adjustment depending on you. Let me come back to the camera so I can actually see you. Personally, when I first started taking M&S, I couldn't wait 30 minutes. I had to take my M&S 30-minute before pack and eat within 20 minutes. This is going to be a little bit of a juggling act in the beginning. The first maybe 1 or 2 days, maybe 3 days, you're going to have to figure out what works best for you. Starting tomorrow, you want to see if you can make it to the 30 minutes. You never, no matter who you are or how long you can wait, you never want to wait past 30 minutes. So when I first wake up and I take my 30-minute before breakfast pack, I want to make sure I'm eating definitely within that, by that 30-minute mark. But again, if you start feeling nauseous because of the vitamins going into your stomach on an empty stomach, you can push it back a little bit. So first tomorrow, try 30 minutes. If you do great with waiting 30 minutes, then that's perfect. Continue to do it 30 minutes, waiting that 30-minute window. Like I said, for myself, I had to do 25 minutes. So you can keep working your way back. I said actually 20 minutes, but you can start with 5-minute increments. So if 30 minutes was too long and you felt queasy when you hit the 30-minute mark, move it back 5 minutes and try 25 minutes on the second day. And if that's still not exactly perfect, move back 20 minutes. You really shouldn't have to go back too much further than that. But again, play around with it. That's totally normal if you need to move it back. But again, your goal is to try to get to 30 minutes. If you're feeling great, do not move it back at all. Next thing is the importance of, when I say eating within that, eating at that 30-minute mark, eating real food or shake, protein filled. You need to put that the right amount of food in your body to avoid any type of issues as far as nausea, and also, to burn fat, we need food. We know this. Now, the other tip that I mentioned was your with packets. It says take with lunch, take with breakfast. Again, you can take them both at the same exact time with your breakfast. So you're only left with the one take 30 minutes before a lunch pack. So by the time you've had your breakfast, 3 packets are gone. 30 minutes right when you wake up, the 30 minute before breakfast, and your 2 whiff packets are gone by the time breakfast comes. Again, I just stress the importance of making sure to eat enough to keep that metabolism burning. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So remember, we have that 1 hour window. When we wake up, we want to make sure we are eating food filled with protein within 1 hour, so we get that metabolism up as high as we can for the day, as long as we continue to keep putting that fuel that we need to burn. Now let's talk about what happens if you forget M&S. M&S at first, it's a routine that you have to get used to. It takes a little while. I will 100% say the first 2 weeks I was like, I don't know, am I going to be able to do this all the time? By the time M&S kicked in and I felt as amazing as I did when I got used to the M&S, I knew that no matter what, I was staying on it. I was getting exactly what my body needs, and at that point, I found out exactly what time I needed to be taking my M&S to make me feel great and have no issues with any type of nausea. And I was also getting amazing results from the M&S. So again, it's going to be a schedule you have to get used to. Use whatever techniques you need to use to remember when to take them, but just stick with it for 2 weeks. Do not give up. And remember, there are going to be times that maybe you forget. Everybody does. So let's talk about what happens if you forget to take your M&S packet. If you forget to take your M&S packet, just take it at the next big meal. The reason I say that is you don't want to take it with a snack. It's not enough food. And like I said, when you're taking M&S before packets, you want to make sure that you are eating a very good filled nutritional meal, not a little snack. So if you, let's say you remember, but you only have 15 minutes until that meal, you can still take it. M&S, like we said, if the longer it's in your body for those 30 minutes, obviously the more effective it is. But if you have 15 minutes to lunch and you're deciding, should I take it, or should I take it with only 15 minutes left, or should I just forget it? Take it. It still works great. It's just not as effective as if you waited that 30-minute window. So again, don't skip it. And you always want to make sure that if you did miss it at breakfast, then take it for lunch and then push lunches to dinner. But with that being said, if you do take it at dinner, be aware. One of the wonderful things about M&S is it gives us energy. So you might have a little bit of energy if you take it at dinner time. So you can decide how that works for you. But again, try not to remember, set some timers and things to help you remember. Put it in your pocket to make that little scrunchy sound. The extra omegas I did mention before, but I'll mention them again. That's an optional thing. You have Omegaplex already left over from your cleanse phase. So if they're there, you can use them. And like I said, how I use them is in the morning, my omegas are in my M&S, so I don't have to use them then, but I do add them 2 at lunch and 2 at dinner. Sometimes I suggest to people they can start with just adding them 2 at dinner if it's easier than adding it also at lunch. Again, it all depends on what you feel comfortable with or what your goal, what you need. And as far as staying regular, that seems to work the best for myself. Hey, we're honest and we're open here, right? Again, the add-ons that I talked about, the ThermoPlus, Catalyst, those are both products that I highly suggest getting, as well as if your goal is to continue, hopefully continuing products always, but as far as weight loss is concerned, that's a great product to continue on afterwards, as well as Catalyst. So again, if you don't have them in your hands right now to start tomorrow, please do not hesitate to go ahead and order them if that's something you want to do, because again, you're better off getting them late than not getting them. So if that's one of the things you want to do, go ahead and do it, and then we'll continue it on day 25. Another important reminder is drinking your water. I know for the last 10 days you're probably floating right now with the amount of water you've drank, but It's so good for you. A lot of you will notice your skin is really nice. Of course, that's from the cleanse because you've now gotten rid of all the toxins in your body, but it's also all that water you're drinking. So continue drinking the water throughout the next 14 days and hopefully after that. But it's so important that when you take these supplements and these vitamins, that every time you take vitamins, you want to make sure you're taking at least 8 ounces of water along with those vitamins to make sure that they're getting all the way down and not getting stuck in any way. So always follow your supplements with an 8-ounce glass of water. Now, day 16, this is when you want to get back with the person that got you on this challenge, because that's really when you're gonna talk with that person and figure out what your goals are for life after the challenge. If you're feeling this good, and trust me, in the next 14 days you're going to be feeling that much better. You don't all of a sudden feel so great and then day 25 you're like, okay, I'm good, I'm just going to go on back to my old lifestyle. It's probably not the case. Remember, with 70 plus products, this is not a cookie cutter program. What I continued on day 25 and after is very different what somebody else on this webinar right now did. So remember, it is formulated for what your goals are and also what your budget is. So don't think that if there's a product that we keep talking about M&S. If there's a product on here that maybe you can't afford to continue taking, don't think that you just can't take products anymore and you're not going to get the results that you want. We can help you, and that's the beauty of Advocare. There are so many products out there to help everyone, and we can do that with you. So make sure by day 16, if the person that got you involved hasn't gotten in touch with you, you want to get in touch with them and talk about your goals. So on day 25, your products are sitting there waiting for you to continue on your journey. Now, this is something somebody said to me, and it stuck in my head because you hear a lot of people saying, and I've heard it over the last 10 days, well, I thought I'd lose a lot more, or I want to lose 100 pounds in a 24-day challenge. It's not going to happen, nor do you want it to happen. Remember, slow and consistent is the way the weight stays off, right? And somebody made this one comment to me when she was talking about weight loss. If you're on this webinar right now and your goal is to lose a substantial amount of weight, you have to remember you didn't put the weight on in 24 days and you're not going to take it off in 24 days. We have heard so many stories about the 24-day challenge being just the start. Many people continue after the 24-day challenge, losing more weight afterwards because now their body is getting used to the wonderful nutrition that's being put in from food as well as supplementation. So you want to remember that be patient, stick with it, stick and stay. There's not a miracle. This is a lifestyle change. And remember, Advocare, we know the products work. So we are all here to help you, and we're all cheering you on for the next 14 days of this challenge. And you've done so amazing for the last 10 days. So let's keep this going. And we're going to touch base again. And we're excited. Keep posting on these Facebook pages and about your results. And this positivity is amazing on these pages and just gets us all excited. So continue doing a great job. Keep drinking that water. And if there's any questions, please reach out to the person that got you involved with this challenge. And also, again, ask your questions and post your comments on those Facebook pages. Have a great night, everybody, and good luck tomorrow. Bye.